Welcome back to part 3 of the Harbor Freight 14.5-inch in-cabinet welding cart build. If you missed part 1 and 2, make sure to check those out. And let's get right into the fabrication of part 3. Okay, now we need to make 2 L brackets to weld on here to hold the casters in place. And then we also need to make a tray that's bent, drops down, and it'll hold our tank down low and come back up this other side. I have some 12-inch wide, 1/4-inch plate that we'll be using for this. Now my drawing is not to scale. I just drew something up. I wanted to see what it would cost to go into a fabrication shop and just have them bend the plate I already have. So this will be the plate that holds the tank. It's 4 bends, and then the ends would need to be plasma cut to length. So I needed one of those, and then 2 L brackets that are 6 inches wide. And the fabrication shop I went to, just for bending and the plasma cutting, they quoted me $315. So I've never had any work done by a fabrication shop like that before. That seemed like a very excessive price to me. So we're going to go ahead and try to bend this plate ourselves. I thought I'd start out using a cutting wheel, trying to score lines in this 1/4-inch plate where I wanted to make my bends. I quickly realized I needed to transition to a thicker grinding wheel, which would allow me to bevel the edge of the groove. During my first attempt of heating up the metal and trying to make this bend, I found out that my groove and my beveled edge wasn't quite deep enough. I was able to use my cutting wheel to get a little more material off of that beveled edge and then heat the metal up again and continue the bend. Now that I had a better idea on the process of scoring the 1/4-inch plate, I went ahead and got started on my second bend. This time I was much more aggressive in beveling the edge of the groove. It still took a couple of times heating the plate to be able to bend it to a 90. Alright, it is taking me way too long to make these bends, so I'm going to modify this plan and cut the 1/4-inch plate off there. And instead of having a lip up here, I'll just stitch weld it along here. And that should be plenty strong. It's just taking way too long to make those bends. With the 1/4-inch plate bent to shape, I've clamped it onto the base of the cart so I can lay in some heavy tack welds. I bought some 3-inch gussets on eBay to weld into the back of this tray. It may not need it, but I like the way it looks. So I don't have a plasma cutter, but I was able to go over to a buddy's house and borrow his, and I cut 2 of these plates out, which will hold the tank in place. After laying down some tacks to hold this plate in position, I finished it off with a few stitch welds. And then I used my angle grinder to knock down any welding splatter. Late last night I welded this together with scrap metal I had lying around just to help me bend that 1/4 inch plate with my Harbor Freight press, and it worked great for making those L brackets. Okay, I used some more 1/4 inch plate and I made these little L brackets with some gussets in the corner. The castor wheel will bolt in that. We'll get these L brackets in place where we need them, then we'll tack them in. Got this one will go over here. And then we'll be able to bolt the casters on and roll this thing around. Well, I just welded these on and forgot to turn the GoPro on. Sorry about that. Once I got the cart flipped over, I laid down some stitch welds where the bottle cradle meets the square tubing. Now it's time to install the second plate I plasma cut to hold the gas bottle in place. Next, I tacked in these 4-inch gussets I found on eBay. Lastly, I put in some heavier stitch welds on this upper plate and gussets. Instead of using a chain to secure my bottle to the cart, I decided to cut my version of a strap out of 1/4 inch plate, and first order of business was to drill a hole to install a bolt as a pivot point. Now for the other side. My hope is to be able to remove a bolt from one side and then pivot the strap out of the way when I need to change out my bottle. Yes, it works. Next, I used a pair of vice grips to secure those weld-on nuts to the upper rail as I welded those in place. Well, I wanted to make my own tube holder to go on the side here. I went to town and went to a couple of stores to look at sheet metal. A 2x2 piece of sheet metal was $54 to $56, and that was too expensive. So I had a little piece lying around that I wanted to try, so I bent this up, welded it together. That would go on here, so that worked great for the 2 tubes I have, but I'd like to use more. I'd like to have 3 or 4 here. So I had a big piece of aluminum. It's a lot thicker than I wanted, and this was my basic idea, was to bolt it on there and then be able to drop my tubes in there. But I had a heck of a time bending this. I'll show you some footage. I ended up having to score the back side of all my bends just to struggle with it. I even used heat on them to try to bend it, and that really didn't make it much easier. So it ended up cracking all the way along here. So I'd probably have to get some different aluminum, some thinner aluminum. So I didn't want to spend the $54 or $56 for a 2x2 piece of sheet metal. Maybe one day down the road I'll be able to maybe buy a bigger sheet. It'll probably be far less expensive in terms of amount of material you get for the cost. So for 21 bucks, I picked this up online, and I think we can make this work. We'll make some modifications. We'll have to fix this warp in it, but I think this will work for now to get this project done so I can move forward. But eventually I would like to make my own rack just because I want to do it myself. So let's work on getting this warp fixed, and we'll get it mounted, and then we'll get moved on to the other side. That's all for part 3 of the welding cart video. If you enjoyed my video, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next video where we finish up building this cart. Thanks for watching.